Hello and welcome to the $1,000,000 Message. This is your Fearless Friday message with Callie DeBlander Brigham, calling from beautiful Pensacola Beach, Florida. Well, this past Monday, of course, was Mary Kay's birthday. And with my unit, I wanted to do something a little special and something that was on my mind here recently. And of course, honoring Mary Kay and the thing that not only drove her to start this company and this opportunity, but also was her great, I would say, passion and desire for women. And that was about dreams. So I wanted to honor her by supporting myself, honestly, and my unit, my team, to reconnect with their dreams. So I thought I would share with you a little bit about what we talked about on Monday night and see if this also supports and serves you. And it was just a reminder for me and for everybody that it's not just about business. And I think we all probably recognize that this product that we use, this opportunity, it's a vehicle, right? And it's a vehicle to help us to envision and work for and dream about a life that we desire. And I wanted to first start about why dreams even matter. And dreams really give us the direction and the motivation and the sense of purpose. It's almost like they're the compass that is guiding us towards where we're going. Now, along the way, we have the mile markers and the guardrails and the destination and all of that goals give us, right? Because we need to have some benchmarks and we need to know how we're getting there, but the compass is the direction. And I was thinking that without dreams, we risk drifting through life with no clear destination. So what do we choose today? Do we want to drift or do we want to dream? And Mary Kay was the queen of that. And she said, be a dreamer, have a sense of greatness. And you can finish this with me if you know it. It has been said that if you can dream it, you can do it. And then she actually finished that quote by saying, and I believe that. And I know that we all do too. I think it's important, though, to recognize before we decide, okay, what is my dream? Or maybe you're very, very, very clear on it. But what I found in my unit and even myself, that most of us need a little bit of direction when it comes to this, or a reminder, or a refresher, or a reigniter. So why do dreams fade, though? Why do we either forget them? Why do we set them aside? Why do we not have clarity on them? And I think that here are some common reasons. And the first one is, I already mentioned, a lack of clarity. When we're not clear about what we want, then that is a huge, huge red flag towards being a dreamer. And that can lead to unfulfilled dreams. So a lack of clarity. And why do we have a lack of clarity? There's a lot of reasons. Sometimes it's because we did finish a big dream. We did see it realized, and then we didn't really kind of set up another one. So we're just kind of thinking, well, whatever happens next happens. Maybe it's that we have not had practice in it in a while. Maybe it is that we picked something that we don't actually really care about, but that's what everybody else seems to be wanting to do. Maybe it's because we just haven't taken the time to really hone in on what it is and to be clear on it. So maybe that's where you're at today. Maybe the next one is a fear of failure. The fear of not succeeding, it can prevent us from pursuing our dreams. And maybe that's just because that's a pattern that you have. Maybe it's because the last one that you had didn't come true or didn't fell apart. Maybe it fell apart publicly. Maybe people saw. Maybe it's just scary to put it out there, to put out something big. Maybe it's easier to put out something small. The next one would be just life's demands. Oh my goodness. We have so much on our plate, in our mind. Responsibilities, the daily responsibilities. And oftentimes that overshadows it. That's just when we exist or we survive or we're just trying to make it through, let alone have a dream. And I know that was my big challenge during COVID that I talk about, was that I really just thought, I just need to make it through every day, let alone have a dream. Maybe another one is self-doubt, questioning our worthiness or our ability to achieve our dreams. A lot of this is comparison, right? Because we start to either compare ourselves to people that have different life situations or different skills or different strengths or frankly just different desires. And then we start to think, well, who am I to say that I could have that? Or if only I was like her, or if only my life was like that. So there are many, many other ones, but it is not abnormal to have this happen. Maybe we're not clear, maybe we fear failure, maybe it's life's demands, maybe it's self-doubt. And how do we know that these things have happened? What are some signs that these things have happened? Well, we might feel unmotivated or stuck. Maybe we just can't even recall what they are, what our passions are. Maybe we experience regret or a sense of loss. So I just want to ask you, as you reflect, have you felt any of these? And you know what? It's okay. It's okay. This is a safe place. Acknowledging that is the first step. It's super important. That awareness for me has always been the trigger. It's always been the key of, oh my goodness, okay, enough is enough. I have not flexed my dream muscle. And, it might feel a little painful once we start to get that exercise going again. But man, is it going to strengthen us. So the next part is reconnecting with our dream. And some of this is just giving yourself permission and space to think about it, to imagine it. Imagine, what would be your ideal life? What does it look like? Who are you with? What are you doing? And whatever that answer, I'd love to propose that how could Mary Kay be a bridge to that? How can Mary Kay be a bridge to that life? What could the income from your personal sales be that could support this? And so just so you know, I have a new one personally. I'll give you an example. And by the way, I think sometimes too we don't do the dream because we think it has to be so grandiose, or it has to be so selfless, or maybe it has to be, maybe it's small. So then we think, well, I have kind of a small one, so that probably doesn't count. Well, here is one of mine. I've always loved to dream and work for memories and experiences for my most important people. And as you may know, our family's pretty big soccer fans. And my son especially. So next year, 2026, is the World Cup. It's going to happen in North America. It's the biggest thing that happens worldwide in sports, and it's every 4 years. And being that it's in North America and in some special cities where I've got some special friends, I was like, okay, that is worth working for. And interestingly enough, 2 years ago, when I was on my trip with Brigham, that was a huge dream for a couple of years that I worked towards. We went to the FIFA Museum in Switzerland, in Zurich, and I said, so 2 years ago, I was like, oh, I want to take Brigham to the World Cup. This is another day. I want to do this as a family. Well, that was 2 years ago, and I forgot about it. And so I thought, no, 3 years ago. Well, no, 2 years ago. And I forgot about it, and I thought, oh my goodness, I'm dusting that one off. So that's what my Mary Kay business can fund this next year, and tickets aren't cheap. So that's what I'm going to be working towards. And Mary Kay Ash said, dare to grow into your dreams and claim this as your motto. Let it be me. So once you know what that is, then we have to put a goal to it. All right? So we know what the dream is. And the dream could just be having fresh flowers at your house every week. How does that feel on your kitchen counter or on your bedside table that you've got fresh flowers every week? Well, whatever that dream is, now we have to set a goal to it. So we set a SMART goal. You all have probably heard of this. S is specific. So we have to know exact dream. So mine would be set aside, save this exact amount of money for the World Cup. Measurable. So then I need to know how many parties or sales do I need to know to reach that goal. So I break that down. Achievable. I put it into manageable steps. So could this happen? Right? Could this happen? And then R is relevant. So I'm making sure that this aligns with my personal values and desires. My son is getting ready to start his junior year in the fall. this definitely aligns to the fact that I want to spend quality time with my kids, making memories that they're going to remember, and spending it with people that I enjoy, which means picking a city that the World Cup's going to be in where I've got friends there. And then T is time bound, so a deadline. So what I need to know now is, okay, when do tickets go on sale? How far in ahead do I want to buy my plane tickets? How much spending money do we need? So I need a deadline to set up urgency and focus. All right? So if you needed $5,000 and each party you profited was $100, I would need 50 parties. So over 10 months, that's 5 parties a month, for example. And then the last part is enrolling other people and sharing it. Now, we want to share it with the right people, that's for sure. But when we share a dream with others, we invite them to be part of the journey. And this can inspire and attract people, whether it's your family, your customers, your team members. And some of the ways we do that is a vision board. It could be virtual like on your phone or something like that, digital. That's the word I'm looking for. Or it could be old school, vision board, communicating the why. So it's not just, well, this is what I want to do, but this is what I want to do because. And then invite participation, encouraging other people to support you or to join you in it. So I hope that this encourages you today to dust them off. We can either drift or we can dream. And if you've kind of been in a place where it just hasn't felt like you've had much in that passion area, well, I want to invite you to join me in that today, especially as we're working towards end of the year goals, end of the year very key positions and achievements. Let's attach this to a dream, and I bet you'll see really amazing miracles happen. All right, have a great day.